Good evening, my queen. Enjoying the ball tonight? Marvelous. I have a gift for you, if a humble jester may be so bold. I noticed you seemed rather down, so I thought I'd bring red roses for a blue lady. They are lovely, aren't they? Smell them. I assure you, they're positively divine. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. I'm glad you find it equally amusing. There's nothing I love more than making people laugh. Your husband especially. Yes, it is a shame he couldn't be here tonight. When you're the king, duty calls, no matter where you are. I'm all right, thank you. Actually, no, I'm not. To be honest, I'm feeling a little down. Even jesters get sad sometimes, which is why I've been cracking more jokes than usual. Well, if you must know, tonight is the night I lost someone very important to me a few years ago. Well, I'd rather not go into it now. The story would only bring your mood down even more, and I'm here to make your night unforgettable. It will be, trust me, you'll see. Want to hear a joke first? Okay, here goes. Why wasn't the queen feeling well? Because she had many a sleepless night. What's the matter? Didn't find that one funny, huh? I guess they can't all be winners. Trust me though, what I have planned for tonight is quite a scream. Much better than this snooze fest. Be honest, how many of these dull balls have you attended in your recent reign as queen? And how many of them have you actually enjoyed? Exactly, not that many. They must get quite boring after a while, especially when your husband can't spend the night dancing with you. In my opinion, parties like these could use some actual party games. Want to see what I mean? Then follow me. I've created a scavenger hunt. It ends in a room in this palace that I guarantee you've never seen before. Does that sound fun? Wonderful. Let's get started. Your first clue. What's the tallest room in the castle? No, not literally. You've got to think outside the box. You need a hint. Okay, then maybe if I give this one away, you'll catch the drift. This room is the tallest because it has so many stories. Yep, the library, right this way. I remember when my sister and I were first brought to the palace to work here as children. Yes, she worked here with me. The previous king was so kind to us. He graciously let us read whatever we wanted in our time off. Your late father-in-law was a great man. Look at me, getting sentimental when we have a mystery to solve. I believe your next clue is located within that book over there. Well, let's see. What do we have here? To enter this room requires 2 keys, one to get in the door, and then another to get 40 winks, maybe more. Yes, I must admit I do have a touch of the poet in me. Well, however, poetry is not related to the answer itself. Oh, come now, your majesty. 40 winks? It's a very popular old adage. I mean, it is among commoners anyway. Maybe not amongst noble blood such as yourself. I take it back then. The bedroom is correct. Yes, it would be your bedroom, my queen. I will not enter, though. Merely follow you to the entrance. I promise. Oh, I slipped the next piece of paper under the door. I did not intrude prior to tonight. Then let us away. Go right in. I'll busy myself. What goes on in there is between you and the king. Along with someone else we used to know. This will be the last one. I thought anything more than 3 would be a bit much, especially if you found the game rather tedious. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it, because I'm really going to enjoy this next part. Go on, read it. Don't understand this one either, eh? I'll take a look. Ah, the answer to this riddle is not a place, but a thing. I can sneak up on you or be right in front of you without knowing. Once revealed, nothing is the same. Oh, it's obvious to me. Are you sure you don't know? After all, you are the expert in this subject. No? Very well, I'll tell you the answer. But it would have been so much more fun if you'd guessed. Treachery. Don't bother struggling. I tied those knots good and tight. How'd you end up here? Simple. I used some magic powder from my good friend the court magician and dragged you down myself. You'll execute me! How cute. I don't think that's going to happen. Well, I'll explain why in a minute. You see this cell? Plenty of people were sent down here over the centuries. War criminals, traitors, murderers, thieves. And they all deserved it. But one occupant has been missing because they thought they got away with it. And that is all being fixed tonight. Tell me, do you remember my sister? Don't play dumb. Looked a hell of a lot like me. Same nose shape, same eye color, even the same laugh when we'd tell jokes. Quite a jewel amongst women. That's what your darling husband used to say, even though he was betrothed to marry you. He fell in love with my sister when they met as children. She was brought to the palace with her younger sibling to come work. I was to be a jester, she to be a seamstress. The 3 children were thick as thieves. When they came of age, the then prince swore to her that he'd break the marriage contract. Until you found out. Oh no, I'm not interested in what you have to say in your defense. We haven't finished the story yet. You wanted to surprise your betrothed with a visit one evening and tried to sneak into his chambers, only to find another girl lying there. Hard to feel bad for you when you were bedding every night in the palace. You didn't care a penny for the king's happiness. You only felt threatened when someone else had his attention. Oh, don't try and justify it. A woman of integrity would speak to her fiancé and his love face to face, not make arrangements to have her kidnapped in the middle of the night. It didn't end there, though. You were too smart for that. You knew that if my best friend searched for my sister and never found her, all his thoughts would be consumed by her till his dying day. You didn't want him haunted by not knowing what happened, so you gave the story a permanent end by having her killed. Oh, I found out because you ignored me. I was merely a humble jester who provided laughs. Who'd think that a clown could cry? It was hard to tell who took it worse when the news broke, the king or myself. I was determined to avenge her. With time and patience, I was able to trace it all back to you. I could kick myself I didn't get it sooner. May I see your hand, your majesty? I asked as a courtesy. That doesn't mean I have to accept the answer. That ring on your finger was indeed given by the king, but not to you. He gave it to his one true love as a promise. It never, ever left her finger when she was alive. You were careful to hide it, weren't you? Until you grew careless and started putting it on when the king was away. I'm guessing you thought you should wear it tonight, because it what? Matches your dress? Just goes to show, rich people don't know anything. What am I going to do? Oh, I'm not going to do anything. It's not within my power to issue a fitting sentence. I think it's within someone else's. Isn't that right, Your Majesty?
Yes. Yes, it damn well is. Spare me your lies, woman. No amount of begging or justifying will be enough to excuse your treachery. How could you? Is that really how your insipid mind works? I do not love you in the same way, but I would have done everything in my power to not hurt you with the truth. You were once a lovely woman whom I respected as a future monarch like myself. We could have remained close friends. I would not have shut you out completely. I do not believe you love me. This is not love. This is obsession. You never cared about my happiness. You merely wanted what you could not have. So you took away true love in my life, something that I will never have again. Spare the tears. Your punishment will be swift and sure. I will only ask one thing before I decide what to do with you. Give me that ring back. Now. You're not in a position to negotiate, so tread carefully. Fine. Guess we shall have to do this the unpleasant way. Will you do the honors, Jester?
With pleasure, my king. Trust me, that's only a tenth of what she felt. Soon, your pain will be much greater.
Your service to me will be rewarded, Jester.
No reward needed. Knowing she'll face justice is reward enough.
When you've cleaned the ring, bring it to me immediately. I must place it in her coffin. It's what she would have wanted.
Of course. It will never really go away, will it?
No, it won't. Having this piece of closure makes it a bit more bearable, along with having a true friend in your life. Thank you for being mine.
Always. Good night, Your Majesty.
Good night, old friend.
Should we do anything with the prisoner?
Leave her there, come the morning. Long may she rot.